everyone, I'm Gemma from Concrete Gems Crochet, and today I have got this gorgeous cute sheep bag tutorial for you. Now this is like a messenger style bag that opens up with a big flap. The flap is of course a sheep, perfect for all you yarn lovers out there. It's made with overlay mosaic crochet on this front section, and the rest of the bag is just made using simple half double crochet stitches. We use US terms throughout this tutorial, and I'll be walking through how to do every single row of it, so it's a really good one if you're new to overlay mosaic crochet and you want to learn. Now, if you don't know anything about overlay mosaic crochet, it's worked on the front of the work only. As you can see, there's no pattern on the back. You work from, if you're right-handed, you work from right to left. If you're left-handed, you work from left to right. And you always cut your yarn and restart at the beginning again. So we're working like this the whole time. We work with 2 stitches. Single crochets in the back loops and mosaic double crochets which go in the front loop of the 2 rows below. We work 1 colour per row, alternating between the light colour and the dark colour, and it's a really fun thing to learn. So if you haven't learned it before, this is a great way to learn it, and I really hope you're going to watch and join in. So let's have a look at the yarn, shall we? Today I'm going to be using a 4mm Furls crochet hook, and I'm also going to be using Cedar Stories. This is a double knit and it is 60% cotton and 40% acrylic, which hopefully will make a nice sturdy bag, but with a little bit of give as well. It's a 50-gram ball with 140 meters or 153 yards in it. I'm going to be using these 2 colors, so these are City Break and Sky Bar, but you can use any color you like. You want a light color and a dark color, really, so a light one for your sheep and the dark one for the border, like this one that I made in acrylic yarn. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so we start with our dark colour, which is our yarn A, and we're going to just put a slip knot onto our hook. And then we are going to make a foundation single crochet of 55 stitches, okay? So to do a foundation single crochet, we do 2 chains, then we ideally work into the back bumps, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. Insert your hook into that first chain or the second chain from the hook, whichever way around you want to see it. Yarn over and pull through. Then we yarn over and pull through 1, which creates like the chain, and then we yarn over and pull through the other 2, which creates our single crochet. So essentially with a foundation single crochet, we're creating the chain and the single crochet stitch all in one. Okay, so to do subsequent stitches, we insert into this part, which is the chain that you had before. Okay, so if you can see, I've gone through both the loops there of that chain. We yarn over and pull through, and we yarn over and pull through 1, which is our next chain. So I'll put my finger on that chain so that we know where we're going into next time. Then we yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so we go again where my fingers are, into that chain, yarn over and pull through, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, and we're going to carry on and do 55 of those, just working back into the chain every time and pulling through to create our foundation single crochet. Okay, so I finished my foundation single crochet chain and single crochet of 55 foundation single crochets, and I'm just going to cut the yarn at the end of that row because we are working the front section as mosaic crochet, which In this case it's overlay mosaic crochet, so I'm just going to do a chain 1 to pull that through and finish that off. So that is going to be our front. We always work on the front of our work in mosaic crochet, so, and we work one row of each colour alternating. So our row 1 is going to be with yarn B, which is our lighter colour, and we are just going to join that on into the first stitch with a chain 1. So I just put the yarn over like that, pull it through, and then chain 1. Okay, so we're going to be working mostly into the back loops when we do single crochet, but for the first stitch and the last stitch we're going to go through the full part of the stitch, so we are going through both of the loops. So we go make a single crochet into that first stitch like that. Okay, we then, for row 1, we're going to do our single crochets in the back loops only all the way across. So that is accepting the first and the last stitches, which are through both loops. But that is all for that row, and we just go across like this all the way. So mosaic crochet has 2 parts. You either are doing single crochets through the back loops, oh, I've missed a bit there, or you're doing a mosaic double crochet which goes into the front loop of the row, which is 2 rows previously. So it will be the row that is of the same colour. So if you're doing a mosaic double crochet in the light colour, it will always go into the front loop of the same colour, and if you're doing the dark colour, the mosaic double crochet will always go into the front loop of a dark colour. So that's quite easy to remember and a helpful hint for you when doing overlay mosaic crochet. I've got a tutorial on overlay mosaic crochet which I will link as well. Okay, so we're just carrying on doing single crochets in the back loops all the way across this row. Okay, so I've just got to the end of this row, and remember that the last stitch goes through both of the loops rather than through just the back loop. So I'm doing that stitch now, and then we're going to cut our yarn. And we're just going to yarn over and pull through a chain to secure that there. And then we are moving on to row 2. We're back with our yarn A. As I said, we alternate every row, and row 2 is actually going to be pretty much the same, in fact exactly the same as row 1, apart from we're going to be using yarn A instead. So if you remember, we pull through to join the yarn and chain to secure it, and then we're doing a mosaic double crochet. We're not doing that at all, we're doing a single crochet through both loops for that first stitch, and then we're just going to do single crochets in the back loops all the way across for the rest of this row, remembering that the last stitch of the row is through both loops. And you can now see the front loops being left available for us to do mosaic double crochets as and when the pattern requires it. Okay, so I am at the end of my row 2 now. So remember that bottom one is the foundation row, and then we've got row 1 and row 2. So I just did my final single crochet through both loops and cut off the yarn, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through like so. So then we switch over again to our yarn B and join in the same way as before. So as I said, every single row starts and ends with a single crochet through both of those loops and a chain one. So the chain one to join and a chain one to finish. Okay, so row 3 now, we're going to do a single crochet in the, hang on a minute, no, we've done the single crochet in the first stitch, then we're going to do a mosaic double crochet. So this is our first mosaic double crochet. So we yarn over, we insert into that front loop. Remember I said it was the same colour, so that's the front loop we need to find. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so the next stitch is a single crochet in the back loop. Oh gosh, what have I done here with my yarn? We don't want to split our yarn, so make sure when you're doing the next single crochet that you're missing the stitch behind the mosaic double crochet there, otherwise you're going to end up having extra stitches somehow. And we're just going to repeat this across. So we're going to do a mosaic double crochet in the front loop of the row 2 rows below, and then we are going to do a single crochet in the back loop of the next stitch, and we're just going to repeat that all the way across, and this creates the grass beneath our sheep. Okay, okay, so I have finished row 3 now, and remember I finished with a single crochet through both loops, and now we'll move on to row 4. So we're changing colour again. We are going back to our yarn A, which is the dark colour yarn, and I'm just going to join that on now. You'll notice my nails have changed colour in between that row. It's quite difficult finding time to film. It's half term for the kids at the moment, so they're off school for a week, so there's not a lot of quiet time. Right, so I've done single crochet through both loops to start with, and then I'm going to do a single crochet in the back loop of this first stitch in the top of that mosaic double crochet from the row below. Then we are going to do a mosaic double crochet. So again, as I said before, we use the yarn that we're using, we go into the front loop of the row 2 rows below, which is the same colour as the yarn you're using, and do a double crochet into that stitch, and then we're just going to repeat that all the way across. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in the back loop and 1 mosaic double crochet in the front loop 2 rows below. So we can just carry on that all the way across, remembering to finish your row with a single crochet through both loops, and I will see you there. That's the end of row 4 there, so I'm just chopping my yarn off and going to rejoin my yarn B for row 5. So remember that we always work on the front with mosaic crochet, and we leave all of our ends, which we will need to sew in later, but it's not too bad. There aren't that many. Remember, we're only doing the mosaic section on the front flap of the bag. The main body of the bag is just normal stitches. So I've done that first single crochet through both loops, and then I'm going to do a single crochet through the back loops in each stitch all the way across for this row. So super easy. Let's go. Row 6 is exactly the same as row 5, except we are using our yarn A, so our dark colour, and we're just going to single crochet in each back loop all the way across. Okay, I've rejoined yarn B for row 7, and this is where we start getting a little bit more interesting, I should say. So we've done our first single crochet in the first stitch, then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the back loops of the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to do a mosaic double crochet. Oops. After that, we're going to do 10 single crochets in the back loops. Oh dear, can't keep hold of my yarn today. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so then we have 2 mosaic double crochets. So this is the start of the sheep. His little legs starting to take place, and then we have one single crochet in the back loop. Then we have 2 mosaic double crochets, like that, and then we have 7 single crochets in the back loops. It's going to be a long video, I think. Especially if I keep losing the stitch like that, you'll think that I can't crochet. Right, there we go, that's 7, 2, 4, 6, 7, and then we have 2 more mosaic double crochets. It's hard to crochet like sidewaysy to try and film it, to be honest. Then we have a single crochet in the back loop, followed by 2 more mosaic double crochets. So that's the other 2 legs. Yeah, so you can't crochet like you normally would crochet when you're doing a film, because you have to keep it all like this angle and on the table and in the right position for the film. But it's all good, it's all good. Then we're going to do 20 single crochets in the back loops, which I'm not going to film all of. That's 20, and then we've got 1 mosaic double crochet, followed by 2 single crochets through the back loops and our single crochet through both loops to finish off that row. And then we'll switch over to our yarn A, back to the dark colour for row 8. Right, so we've done the single crochet in the first stitch, then we're going to do 3 single crochets in those back loops, those first 3 stitches. That's those 3. Then we're going to do 10 mosaic double crochets. Oopsie. 2. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the back loop, so you can really see how you do the stitches now. It's very, very clear. Then we've got a mosaic double crochet in between the legs and 2 single crochets in the top of the legs. lost where I am now. Then we've got 7 mosaic double crochets. Wonder whether my nails will change colour again in the process of this video. Depends when the kids get back. They're at their grandparents today. And I was working earlier. Okay. That's those 7. And we've got 2 single crochets in the back loops at the top of the legs again. 1 mosaic double crochet in between. 2 in the top. And then I have to look at my pattern to see what happens next. And then we're going to do 20 mosaic double crochets in the next 20 stitches. And then we have 3 single crochets in the back loops, followed by our single thread crochet through both loops to finish off row 8. Okay, then we'll move on to row 9 with yarn B. I'm not sure I need to show you everything, but I want you to be able to do it as well, so we'll carry on. Feel free to speed past if you've got the chart or the written instructions and you just want to follow on from those, because it does carry on in a similar fashion for a while now. So row 9, we have done our single crochet through both loops. Then we're going to do a mosaic double crochet. Then we're going to do 12 single crochets through the back loops. Followed by 2 mosaic double crochets. Then we have a single crochet. 2 more mosaic double crochets. And then 7 double crochets. I'll just walk you through this bit because it's the same as before. So we've got 7 single crochets in the back loops, 2 mosaic double crochets here, a single crochet in the back loop here, and 2 more mosaic double crochets there. After that we have got 22 single crochets in the back loops, and then finishing off with a mosaic double crochet and then our single crochet through both loops. So 22 and then a mosaic and then the final stitch. Moving on to row 10 now with yarn A. We've done our single crochet in the first stitch and then we're going to do 3 single crochets in the back loops. Then we're going to do 9 mosaic double crochets. Oops. Oh dear, what am I like? 9. After we've done those 9 mosaic double crochets, we're going to do 19 single crochets through the back loops. And that will be followed by 19 mosaic double crochets. So 19 single crochets and then 19 mosaic double crochets. And then we'll finish row 10 with 3 single crochets through the back loops and 1 single crochet through both loops. And then we can fasten off, cut the yarn, and move on to the next row, row 11, yarn B. Can't really see a sheep forming yet, but it is getting there a little bit. We've done the legs now, so we rejoin as usual, everything exactly the same, and do our single crochet through both loops. And then we are going to do 2 single crochets in the back loops, 1 mosaic double crochet, then we're going to do 9 single crochets through the back loops, so it's in the back of all of these mosaic double crochets that we've had already. Okay, and after that we're going with our 19 again, so this time it will be 19 mosaic double crochets followed by 19 single crochets. Okay, so I've gone across now, I've done my 19 mosaic double crochets, my 19 single crochets, and we're just going to finish off this row with one mosaic double crochet into the front loop, or not if we can't get it in there. Oh dear. And then we've got 2 single crochets in those back loops and 1 single crochet through the last stitch, and that's the end of row 11. Just get my scissors there and cut that off and move back to the beginning for row 12. Now row 12 has quite a lot of repeated ones again, so we're going to see if we can whiz through it a little bit. We start by joining our yarn, of course, and a single crochet through both loops. Then we're going to do 3 single crochets in the back loops, trying not to split the yarn there. Then we're going to do 7 mosaic double crochets, okay, followed by 7 mosaic double crochets followed by 23 single crochets in the back loops. Okay, so let's go ahead and pause the video and do that now. You can see our sheep starting to appear now, can't you? So I've done those 23, and now we're going to do 17 mosaic double crochets. And then we'll finish off this row with 3 single crochets in the back loops, and then our final stitch through both loops. So I'll see you at the start of row 13. Okay, row 13 starts with our single crochet through both loops, followed by a mosaic double crochet. Obviously I've swapped over to my yarn B again. Oh dear. Then we do 9 single crochets through the back loops. Did I say a mosaic double crochet through the back loop then? Golly, losing the plot. Okay, so 9 single crochets through the back loops, and then we are going to do 23 mosaic double crochets, which will be the sheep's back. Okay, so is that my 9, 3, 6, 9? Yep, so 23 mosaic double crochets followed by 19 single crochets in the back loops. Then we have 1 mosaic double crochet and 1 single crochet in the last stitch. Okay, do you think we can remember that one? 23 mosaic double crochets, 19 single crochets in the back loops, then 1 of each to finish. Right, I'm on to row 14 now. We are getting there. So I've done my first single crochet, and now I'm going to do 3 single crochets in the back loops. And then we have 6 mosaic double crochets. Did you manage to remember all the instructions, or did you have to go back and look at the video? I think I just about managed it. I'm not very good at remembering more than like one instruction at a time for crochet. Right, so that's 3, 4, 5 and 6. Whee, what have I done there? Golly. Okay, so you've done 6. Probably do them quicker than me. I can crochet quicker normally, it's just this hook, I think. So then we're going to do 25 single crochets in the back loops, followed by 16 mosaic double crochets, 3 single crochets in the back loops, and a single crochet to finish. So that's 25, then 16, then 3, and our last stitch. Okay, let's get going with that. Row 15 starts with our single crochet in both loops, and then 2 single crochets in the back loops, followed by a mosaic double crochet. We are then going to do 6 single crochets in the back loops of these stitches. And then we're going to do 25 mosaic double crochets, followed by 16 single crochets in the back loops. Then we have 1 mosaic double crochet, 2 single crochets in the back loops, and our final stitch. Okay, so that is essentially the reverse of what we did in the last row, so we should be okay with it. 25, 16, 3, no, 25, 16, and then 1, and then 2. I was reading the wrong row. Let's move on to row 16. I started with my single crochet through both loops. Now I'm going to do 3 single crochets in the back loops, and then we have 6 mosaic double crochet. So this is very like the row below, where we were doing 6 here. I think it might actually a repeat. Not concentrating now, I'm looking at my pattern. So we continue doing 6 mosaic double crochets. Yes, it's exactly the same as row 14. So we do 6 mosaic double crochets, then we do 25 single crochets in the back loops, then we do 16 mosaic double crochets, then we do 3 single crochets in the back loops, and we finish off with a single crochet through both loops. Row 17 starts as usual with a single crochet through both loops, then we do 1 mosaic double crochet, then we're going to do 8 single crochets in the back loops. Now 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 24 mosaic double crochets. So here we go again, and then we do 19 single crochets in the back loops, followed by 1 mosaic double crochet and our single crochet through both loops to finish. Row 18 starts with a single crochet through both loops. Then we do 3 single crochets in the back loops. For that, we're going to do 6 mosaic double crochets. And then we're going to do 24 single crochets in the back loops. Okay, so that's 24. Then we do 2 mosaic double crochets. This is followed by 8 single crochets in the back loops. Sorry, this video is really boring. If you actually want to make this, then it's going to be following this video step by step, so it might be useful for you. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and we do 7 mosaic double crochets, followed by 3 single crochets in the back loops and a single crochet through both loops to finish. Row 19, we're back to yarn B. I've done my single crochet through both loops, followed by 2 single crochets in the back loops. And now I'm doing a mosaic double crochet. And then we're going to do 6 single crochets in the back loops. And this is going to be followed by 24 mosaic double crochets. So they're going to do 2 single crochets in the back loops. So now we're creating the sheep's head. Okay, so we've got 2 single crochets in the back loops, and then we're going to do 8 mosaic double crochets in the spaces that we created on the last row. This is going to be followed by 7 single crochets in the back loops, a mosaic double crochet, 2 single crochets in the back loops, and our single crochet through both loops to finish. Okay, let's start row 20 now with our single crochet through both loops. Then going to do 3 single crochets in the back loops, followed by 4 mosaic double crochets. Okay, so that is 4. We are then going to do 38 single crochets into the back loops. So after we've done our 38, we're going to do 5 mosaic double crochets, followed by 3 single crochets in the back loops and our single crochet through both loops to finish. Moving on to row 21, I've started with my single crochet through both loops, and then I have done 1 mosaic double crochet. Now we're going to do 6 single crochets in the back loops, this is going to be followed now by 38 mosaic double crochets. And then we're going to finish row 21 with 7 single crochets in the back loops, a mosaic double crochet in that last stitch, well, second last stitch, and a single crochet through both loops. Row 22 starts with yarn A with a single crochet through both loops. We then do 3 single crochets in the back loops, followed by 3 mosaic double crochets. Okay, up and there. Okay, so that is then followed by 40 single crochets through the back loops. And then we're going to finish off this row with 4 mosaic double crochets. So we're going into the right stitch, so missing that one. Moved across one again. So 4 mosaic double crochets, followed by 3 single crochets in the back loops and 1 single crochet in that final stitch to finish off row 22. For row 23 we start with our single crochet through both loops, followed by 2 single crochets in the back loops and then a mosaic double crochet, creating that pattern along the side there. Then we're going to do 3 single crochets in those back loops, that, followed by 3 mosaic double crochets. And we have 1 double crochet in the back loop. This is the tail now we're just creating here. And then we're going to do 36 mosaic double crochets. So after that 36, we're going to then do 4 single crochets in the back loops. Then we have 1 mosaic double crochet. We finish off with our 2 single crochets in the back loops and our single crochet in the both loops in the last stitch. Moving on to row 24, we start with our single crochet through both loops and then we're doing 3 single crochets in the back loops. This is followed by 3 mosaic double crochets. Then we're going to do 3 single crochets in the back loops. And then we've got 1 mosaic double crochet. As I said, this is the tail bit. I hook in that loop. And then we've got 36 single crochets in the back loops to go across the top of the sheep. After we've done the 36, we've got 4 mosaic double crochets, followed by 3 single crochets in the back loops and our single crochet in the final stitch. So I think we can probably just go ahead and do all of that. Okay, row 25, single crochet through both loops in the first stitch. Then we've got a mosaic double crochet. Then we're going to do 11 single crochets in the back loops. 11 single crochets in the back loops, and this is followed by 20 mosaic double crochets. Okay, so I finished those 20 mosaic double crochets. Now we're going to do a single crochet in the back loop, just the one, and then we're going to do 7 mosaic double crochets. So this is now creating the neck and the head of the sheep. Draw. Okay, we're doing 7 here. 7. Then we have a single crochet in the back loop, and then we have 5 more mosaic double crochets. Yeah. And then we're going to do 6 single crochets in the back loops. 5, 6, and we've got a mosaic double crochet here and our single crochet through both loops to finish off row 25. Row 26 starts with our single crochet through both loops and then 3 single crochets through the back loops. Then we're going to do 9 mosaic double crochets, and that's going to be followed by 20 single crochets in the back loops. Then we're going to have a mosaic double crochet into that one loop there. That's going to be followed by single crochet in the back loop for the next 7 stitches. We're definitely making progress here now. Nearly to the top of the sheep's head, to be honest. And we've got 1 mosaic double crochet. I believe this is the eye. Looks like an eye to me. Then we've got 5 single crochets in the back loops. This is then followed by, got lost again, 4 mosaic double crochets. And then we're going to finish this row with 3 single crochets in those back loops. And a single crochet through both loops. And that is the end of row 26. Row 27 starts with a single crochet through the back, through both loops, then 2 single crochets through the back loops, followed by a mosaic double crochet, as you can see there. We're then going to do 14 single crochets through the back loops, and that's going to be followed by 11 mosaic double crochets. Okay, after those 11 mosaic double crochets, we're going to do 5 single crochets. Okay, 5 single crochets. Then we're going to do 7 mosaic double crochets. 7. Okay, then we have 1 single crochet in that back loop on top of the eye, and we're going to do what are we going to do? 4 mosaic double crochets. Brain's gone into weird filming mode. Okay, and then we've got 5 single crochets in the back loops. Oh, he looks like a cute sheep now. Can't wait to have this finished and wear it out. Then we've got a mosaic double crochet into this one. And then we have, finally, 2 single crochets and a single crochet through both loops to finish. Row 28 starts as normal with our single crochet through both loops, and then we do 3 single crochets through the back loops. And we're going to do 14 mosaic double crochets. And that's going to be followed by 11 single crochets in the back loops. After we've done 11 single crochets, we're going to do 5 mosaic double crochets. And this is going to be followed by 12 single crochets in the back loops. We're then going to do 5 mosaic double crochets, and we'll finish off row 28 with 3 single crochets in the back loops and our single crochet through both loops. Row 29 starts with a single crochet through both loops, then we do a mosaic double crochet in the next stitch, and that's going to be followed by 33 single crochets in the back loops. Okay, so that brings us to the head, and then we're going to do 10 mosaic double crochets across the top of the head. And we're going to finish off this row with 8 single crochets in the back loops, then 1 mosaic double crochet and our final single crochet through both loops. Right, row 30 back to yarn A. I've done my single crochet through the first stitch through both loops, and now I'm doing 3 single crochets in the back loops. We're then going to do 29 mosaic double crochets, okay, and that's going to be followed by 12 single crochets in the back loops. 29 mosaic double crochets and then 12 single crochets in the back loops. Okay, so after those 12 single crochets in the back loops, we're going to do 6 mosaic double crochets. Then we're going to do 3 single crochets in the back loops and our single crochet through both loops to finish row 30. Row 31 starts with our single crochet through both loops and then 2 single crochets in the back loops. We then do 1 mosaic double crochet. Then we're going to do 29 single crochets in the back loops, followed by 3 mosaic double crochets. Okay, so I've done those three mosaic double crochets, which are now the sheep's ears. Then we've got 1 single crochet in the back loops, followed by 6 mosaic double crochets across the top of the head. Then we're going to do, so when we've done 6, then we're going to do 8 single crochets in the back loops. Eight, and then we have our mosaic double crochet here, followed by 2 single crochets and our single crochet through both loops to finish row 31. Row 32 starts with our single crochet through both loops and then 3 single crochets through the back loops. We're then going to do, similar to before, 29 mosaic double crochets, followed by 3 single crochets in the back loops. We then need a mosaic double crochet between the ear and the head, then 6 single crochets in the back loops, we're going to do 8 mosaic double crochets. We're going to finish off this row with 3 single crochets in the back loops and our single crochet through both loops. Okay, let's move on to row 33. I've done my first single crochet through both loops and I'm just going to do a mosaic double crochet in this next stitch, and then we're going to do 51 single crochets, so that's essentially all the way across to the penultimate stitch where we do a mosaic double crochet here and then we do a single crochet in this very last stitch. So we can go away now and do this whole row. Okay, row 34, we start with our single crochet in the first stitch, then we're going to do 3 single crochets in the back loops, and then we are going to do 47 mosaic double crochets. Okay, we've done those 47. We're then going to do 3 single crochets in the back loops and a single crochet through both loops to finish. So it's going to be the mirror image of this. Okay, so I'll see you when you finish that row. Okay, so row 35 is a super easy row. All we're going to do for this whole row is we're going to do our single crochet through both loops for the first stitch and the last stitch, and then all the other stitches we're just going to do a single crochet in the back loops all the way across. Row 36, we start with our single crochet through both loops, and then I'm going to do 3 single crochets in the back loops, and then we are going to do 1 mosaic double crochet, and then we are going to repeat that. So we're going to do 3 single crochets in the back loops, and then 1 mosaic double crochet. We're going to continue that all the way across this row right up until the last 2 stitches. So up when you get to the last 2 stitches, you're going to do a single crochet in the back loops and then a single crochet through both loops. Okay, so row 37, we have joined our yarn B, done a single crochet through both loops, and now we're going to do a mosaic double crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to do a single crochet in the back loop, and we're going to repeat that pattern across, so just alternating mosaic double crochets and single crochets in the back loops all the way across and to the last 2 stitches, and in the last 2 stitches you're going to do a mosaic double crochet and then a double crochet and then a single crochet through both loops to finish off. Okay, so row 38, we start again with our single crochet through both loops, then we're going to do a single crochet in the back loops, and then we are going to do a mosaic double crochet, followed by 3 single crochets in the back loops, and then another mosaic double crochet, and that's our repeat there. So we're going to do 3 single crochets in the back loops and then a mosaic double crochet. We'll do that all the way across to the last stitch, and then we'll do a single crochet through both loops in the last stitch, and that is our last mosaic double crochet row. So after that I'll show you how to make the rest of the bag. Okay, so that is now the end of our mosaic section. I fastened that off as normal there, and then we're going to go back to the beginning with our right side facing still, and we're going to rejoin our yarn A again. So the same yarn, same colour that we were using before, and we're just going to join that on, and then we're going to chain 2. Now that does not count as a stitch. We're then going to do half double crochets in the back loops all the way across. Okay, so this one is just in the back loops. So I need to go into that very first stitch where I've done that my chain 2 with a half double crochet. So you yarn over, insert into the stitch, yarn over and pull through, and yarn over and pull through all 3. So just working in the back loops all the way across, okay? And when you get to the end, then we're going to turn. And at that point, after that, we are just going to be doing, we're going to chain 2 at the start, remembering that does not count as a stitch, so then you also need to work into the same stitch again. And you are going to do half double crochets all the way across for, so this is row 39 and this one is in the back loops, the rest are not in the back loops. So we then do rows 40 to 98, we're doing half double crochet all the way across, okay? And we are turning after each row, so continually working and turning our work until you get to row 98. After row 98, fasten off, and then you're going to want to weave in all of these ends. Okay, so you just weave each one along the way, and then you can block your work. So it'll be a big long rectangle by that point, so go and block it. After that, we then need to make the handle. Okay, so now we are going to make our handle. So we're going to put a slip knot on our hook, and we're going to chain 7. Then we're going to do a single crochet into the second chain from the hook and each chain across. Okay. When we get to the end of that, we will have 6 single crochets on our hook. And then we're just going to turn and repeat. So well, not quite repeat. So we turn, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do single crochets in each stitch across. So you can have 6 stitches, 6 single crochet stitches across each time, and you're going to repeat this until you've got 200 rows, or as long as you want your bag strap to be, remembering that the bag strap comes from right at the bottom of the bag up to the top, then needs to go over your shoulder and then back to the bottom of the bag to finish. Okay, so just repeat that until you've got to the correct number of rows that you need. Right, I am now back. I have finished making my big long rectangle, as you can see there. I have weaved in all my ends on my mosaic piece, so now it looks like that. And I have made a strap. So what you need to do now is you need to go away and block your rectangle and your strap. Make them nice and flat and straight, and then we can start assembling it. So you're going to need some stitch markers for that. An interesting selection here. Get those ready, and then what we're going to do is work out where the strap's going to go. So I'm going to turn it around so the sheep is at the top, and it doesn't really matter which way round, but I'm going to do it so that it's the wrong way round, as it were. And what we're going to do is we're going to count up 27 rows from the bottom, from here. So when you're counting rows, you look, you can see that that's 1 row, 2 rows. So I like to count them in twos, so you can see like the ridgy bits there is 2. So let's count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 27. So that's my 27th row. I'm going to join one corner of the handle to this 27th row here with a stitch marker. Okay, so it's a little bit fiddly, but it's doable. I'm going to go through that first stitch there, like that. Okay, then we're going to go 3 more rows. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to join the other corner of the strap. So that was our 27th. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to join this one into here. That. Okay. And then we're going to join the handle now evenly along 27 rows on each side. So this side's going to join onto here like this. So just line it up from there all the way up to the top. Place your stitch markers in. Use as many as you need. Get it through the stitch. And I'll put a couple more in here to make sure it's held in place. There. Definitely the fiddly bit of the bag, but it's important to get it all lined up now so that when you do crocheting it together, it's a lot easier. Right, so that's that side, and then we're going to do this other side. So again, just pull them together where the stitch marker is to work out, and it should go up to almost the top of the bag. Goes there. And that should be 27 rows to the top as well from here. We've got from the bottom stitch marker, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14, 16, 18, 22, 7. So it should be that one, which should then line up with the top where that stitch is. So that should line up to that one. Put another stitch marker in there. A bit fiddly. And then this should match up along here like this. I need more stitch markers, throwing them everywhere. Oh, going to get them to go through today. One more. Okay. Put this last one in here. Lining them up. It's all a bit forgiving anyway. So that is now one side of your bag. If you can see like that. And then the bag flap comes down like that. So what you need to do now is attach the other side of the strap on the other side. Okay, so I have now joined on my strap with stitch markers on both sides of the bag. As you can see here, make sure your strap's not twisted when you do that. No, mine's not. Great. Okay, so now we're going to crochet it all together. So we're going to open the flap, keep that open, and we're going to start join our yarn to the front top right edge. So that's going to be this, where this first stitch marker is here. Okay, so we're going to join on our yarn here so that we then work down this way. Okay, so if you're right-handed, you're going to be joining it on this side. If you're left-handed, you'll be joining it on this side so that you work across. Okay, and then we're going to crochet the bag and the strap together on the right side. So just going to insert my hook through those first stitches like that. A bit closer in so you can see what's happening. I'm going to join my yarn. Too close down. Whoa. Apologies, everything's flapping about. Pull my yarn through and I'm just going to join it with a chain. So what we're going to do is we're going to do single crochets through the row ends. Okay, so you just want to work it evenly. I don't know where that came from. So you're going through both the handle and the rectangle and doing single crochets into every stitch. Okay, just make it quite even as you're going along. Basically, there's no set number of stitches. Just make it even, basically. I mean, it's easy to go into the row ends of each of the single crochet and then just make it work on the other side with the half double crochets of the bag. But we're just going to carry on like that, going all the way across. So we're going to go down this one side of the handle, and then at the corner here, we're going to make 2DC in the corner. Then we're going to carry on across, 2DC in this corner. What am I saying? 2 single crochet in each corner. Why am I saying DC? Changed over to UK terms. So we're doing single crochets all the way around. So you single crochet along here. When you get to the corner stitch, you do 2 single crochets in the corner. Carry on along the bottom edge, 2 single crochets here. And then we're going to carry on all the way back up the handle until we get to this point here, this stitch marker here. So I have gone all the way around now, down to the bottom here, along the bottom, 2 single crochets in that bottom and all the way back up the other side. So when you get to this point where you're level with where you started, I think I've just got one more to do there. I'm just going to take this stitch marker out because it's kind of in the way, and I'm just going to do one more stitch through both the bag and the handle here. Okay, so then I am level there, as you can see. And what we're going to do now is we're going to stop going around the main part of the bag, around the handle, and we're going to go all the way around the bag flap. So I'm going to double check that I've got that right. Yeah, that's level there. So I'm going to just start doing single crochet all the way around the bag flap. So this is just do it evenly as you've done it before, working into those stitches. As you can see, you'll start to get a nice neat edge around. And what we're going to do is we're going to carry on working all the way around the flap of the bag, doing a single crochet into every stitch or every kind of row end. And then when you get to the corner, you're going to do 2 single crochets in the corner, and then we're going to carry on. Just zoom out and I'll show you. Sorry about that. So you're going to carry on working single crochets all the way around your bag flap, along the bottom, up the other side, and then when you get to your stitch marker where the other side of the strap is joined in, remember to do 2 single crochets in those corners. When you get back to the strap, then you're going to start doing single crochet again through both layers. Okay, so they're through the handle and through the bag. Then you're going to go carry on down to the bottom, 2 single crochets in that corner, carry on joining on the handle, 2 single crochets in the next corner, and single crochets all the way back up to here. And this is the point where you will fasten off and weave in all your ends, and then your bag will be finished. You can line your bag if you want to. It makes it quite a bit sturdier and stops it stretching too much. I'll just show you with this one that I've made, that I've lined. So you can see here that I've what I actually did, I used a I use for this actually, but you can use a pillow slip, you can use an old bit of sheet, you can use a bit an old tote bag that you don't like anymore, and just line it in. So I've folded it over and then I've stitched it just using normal sewing thread and a needle, and you can see there I just kind of tacked it around the edge of my bag so you can't see it when it's closed, and it keeps it from stretching too much, so that's really good. But you don't have to do that, you can leave it as it is if you prefer. Okay, well, I think that is it. I will just go and finish off my bag now. You go and finish yours, and then I will share the finished product. And there we have it. I finished my bag. I hope you finished yours too. It looks really lovely. Can't wait to take it out for a spin later. So all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope to see you again soon for another tutorial from Concrete Gems. Bye for now.